Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Cleveland, Toronto in this one. MLB Friday, by the way. We're talking about 15 games on the board. We'll do Cleveland, Toronto in this video, but we'll go through every single game on the board during the live show, as well as the NBA Finals. That's at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Cleveland, Toronto, let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, like I said, Guardians at Blue Jays. Toronto's favorite at home here, minus 135, and the total sitting at 8.5. We got Logan Allen getting the start for Cleveland on the road. Kevin Gausman pitching for the Jays. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we got a slight lean on Toronto through the first 5 innings, 3.02 to 2.77, but a slight lean on Cleveland in the full game, 5.01 to 4.29. All right, so let's take a look at this matchup, and we'll start with the Cleveland bats. And as we know, the Guardians have been hitting all year. In the last 30 days, 5th in WRC+, 7th in OPS, 6th in WOBA. Really haven't slowed down. This is a top 10 lineup in the last 7 days as well. They've been hitting on the road, top 10 road lineup on the season. In the last 30 days on the road, 4th, 7th, and 4th. So they can hit away from Cleveland. They also been hitting righties. In the last 30 days, 4th, 7th, and 6th. And they haven't slowed down. Similar looking numbers in the last 14 days and the last 7 days. The last 3 righty starters to pitch against Cleveland, 7.24 ERA and a 190 whip. So they've definitely been getting to righty starters, and you can see which righty starters right here in the game logs. Got to Munoz, but who isn't? I'm not going to give him credit for that. They got to Brady Singer, got to Seth Lugo. 5 runs off Seth Lugo. Didn't get to Jake Irvin, but Jake Irvin's been sneaky good this year. He's actually having a great season. Got to Feltner. 4 runs off Jose Soriano. He's been tough to hit this year. 6 runs off Hauser again. So not the best looking group of names here, but this isn't just the last 7 starters they've seen. They've been hitting righties all year. I have a lot of faith in Cleveland's lineup. Definitely won a bunch of bets on them this year. But they're going to have their hands full. They're up against Kevin Gausman. He's made 3 starts against Cleveland since 2022, and he's got solid numbers. Even 3 ERA, 117 whip in those starts. I will say this year's Cleveland lineup is definitely better than previous year's Cleveland lineup, especially against righties. Last couple of years, Cleveland's really struggled in its right-handed pitching, and this year they're crushing righties. So I'm not sure how much stock I put into those numbers, but Gausman's been pitching well. In his last 5 starts, 297 ERA, 096 whip. Last 2 starts look great. But this game's in Toronto. On the season at home, 6.68 ERA and a 161 whip. Last 3 home starts, 8.80 ERA and a 183 whip. Here are his home away splits. On the road, he's got a 186 ERA and a 096 whip. So on the road, looking like the Cy Young candidate that we know he is. But at home, 6.86 ERA and a 161 whip. And if you take a look at his game logs, it's abundantly clear. Look at his starts on the road. Complete game shutout in Oakland, 6 innings, 1 run in Chicago, 6 innings, 1 run in Detroit. Now, I will say that's Oakland, the White Sox, and the Tigers. But still, at home, Baltimore, 6 runs off him. The Rays, 8 hits, a walk, and 3 runs. Twins, the Minnesota Twins crushed this guy at home. And this is dating back multiple years. Kevin Gausman's been a fade at home. Now, in previous years, he's been a fade at home because the Blue Jays don't hit for him. But this year, he's actually struggling at home. So even though Kevin Gausman, we know he's a beast, I trust Cleveland to get to him. Even if it's only 2 or 3 runs, I definitely expect the Guardians to get a couple across here. On the other side, we got the Toronto bats, and Blue Jays have definitely not been hitting in the last 30 days. 18th in WRC+, 19th in OPS, 19th in WOBA. Same looking numbers at home on the season, 19th, 21st, and 20th at home. In the last 30 days, this is a bottom 5, bottom 6 lineup at home, 23rd, 27th, and 27th. So the Blue Jays definitely not hitting in Toronto. And it gets even worse when you look at their numbers against lefties. In the last 30 days, this is one of the worst lineups in baseball against left-handed pitching, 29th, 29th, and 29th. The last 3 lefty starters to pitch against the Blue Jays, 140 ERA and an 052 whip. So they're not even getting guys on base against lefty starters. And look at the game logs. Bailey Falter, 6 shutout innings. Garrett Crochet, 6 shutout innings. Tyler Alexander, 7 1/3 innings against the Blue Jays, just 3 earned runs. Christopher Sanchez, 7 innings, 1 run. Also, look at the dates here. Christopher Sanchez was back on May 7th. So if you look, in the last month, they've only seen 3 lefty starters. So they haven't been seeing much left-handed pitching, and the few lefty starters they have seen blanked them. So I don't have a ton of faith here in the Toronto bats. that being said, it is Logan Allen. And all right, so Logan Allen made 2 starts against the Blue Jays in 2023, and the Blue Jays got to him. An even 6 ERA, a 156 whip, 660 expected FIP. So the Blue Jays did not have problems getting to this guy last year, and Logan Allen's been struggling. In his last 3 starts, he's got an 8.10 ERA. On the season, he's got a 5.57 ERA. He's been struggling specifically on the road. He made 3 road starts in a row, so again, 8.10 ERA in his last 3. He also has problems with right-handed bats, which is dangerous against Toronto. You can see it. Woba against lefties, 309. Against righties, 401. So definitely struggling against righty bats. Look at the Toronto projected lineup. 8 righties, including the first 6 hitters in the lineup. So this is a really righty-heavy lineup. Logan Allen struggles against righties. So I don't have a ton of faith in the Toronto lineup, especially at home. But if there was ever a starting pitcher where there was a spot for Toronto to get some runs across, it's probably Logan Allen. So through the first 5, maybe I lean towards Toronto a little bit because Gausman's obviously a huge starting pitching advantage. But then we get to the bullpens, and this is where Cleveland just takes over this matchup. No question, Cleveland, huge bullpen advantage. On the season, Cleveland's had the best bullpen in baseball. First in ERA, first in WOBA, first in expected FIP. And you look at the last 30 days, the last 14 days, they haven't slowed down. This has been the best bullpen in baseball pretty much the whole season. Toronto, almost the opposite. Bottom 5 bullpen, 28th in ERA, 27th in WOBA. Now, offensively, Cleveland hasn't done much in the late innings, but Toronto's been even worse. So in the late innings, Cleveland has the huge edge. Both of these teams had the day off. They both had Thursday off, so both of the bullpens are going to be rested. So even if you hate Logan Allen and you like Toronto in the first 5, you still don't feel safe holding a Blue Jays ticket late in the game, which is why I went Cleveland at plus money. I'm getting the better team, the better lineup, and the much better bullpen rested. So I'm taking the plus 15. I know it's Logan Allen against Kevin Gausman. I know that's scary. I already bet it. Give me Cleveland money line plus 115. Like I said earlier, live show at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We'll go through the NBA Finals, Game 4. Then we'll go through all 15 MLB games on the board. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone on the staff here, head over to KyleKirms.com. Sign up for Sauce Network Plus. Comes with the top bets, access to the Discord, and you can participate in our weekly betting league. $100 weekly to the winner. So head over to the website if you're interested in that. Let's have ourselves a good Friday night. This has been a rough week for me, man. As a whole, the season's been great, but this week, Tuesday, Wednesday specifically, were rough for me. So hopefully that turns around. Let's bounce back. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.